Alright, hello everybody. My name is Katie. Today is day one of AFPDFEST. I'm going to be making a video until April 4th, which is the 6th anniversary of Abomination Fight Pit Deluxe releasing on itch. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about Cat Tosser. Now, I talked about every character in a overview very recently, but this is more of a character guide where I'm hoping like super in depth. I'll be able to cover everything that you would realistically need to know. I might miss some small stuff. I'm not editing this. I don't know how. I don't bother. So I hope this is useful for someone at least. Get some documentation out there on this game. There's not many videos about AFPD out there. So, Cat Tosser is, in general, an item toss character built around controlling neutral and the stage by pelting endless cats, which he can pluck from thin air. A floaty character with really low traction, one aerial jump, and he's got quite the difficulty curve to him. I think he's by far the hardest character in the game to pick up and learn. So we'll get right into it here. So the hardest thing to learn about Cat Tosser is like how do cats work. I think cats and knowing when to use them, how to use them is very important. So we're going to take a little moment here, talk about what these cats are, what these fellas do. So, you can throw cats at different speeds here, and they will do different amounts of damage. As you can see, like if I just light press a cat after I pluck it, it will only do 2%, but normally it'll be up to 5. So, from this, this kind of this item can be boinked. Cats are very versatile in how they are used. They can be used defensively, just creating these active hitboxes. Mid-stocks, you can create these, what the game calls cat ladders. And then with down special, you can topple the towers. And just have a bunch of active hitboxes just swirling around the screen. To pick up cats after you throw them again, if they do not have a hitbox, you can air dodge over, and they will be picked up again. You can also just block on the ground, but generally this is slower, and so I would not recommend it. So telekinesis will also grab your cats from a higher distance than what your air dodge would. So as you can see right there, it was a pretty fair distance away, and Cat Tosser is still able to grab off of that. So boinking these cats is also a decent mix-up to do if you want to send them at specific angles. It can be really great to juggle, and any opponent overcommitting to some option will have to deal with cats like that in the air. That can be proved to be kind of troubling. So we'll go just to, now that we're kind of under the basics of cats, I think we're gonna get into the grounded moves here because they're all about cats. So down tilt. Cat Tosser just spawns a cat. As you can see here, the move itself has no hitbox. So it's purely just for getting a cat, but it is his fastest way of obtaining a cat, so it's actually very important to his game plan. Then you have jab here. So jab, you can pause for a second, maybe not hit my cat in the process, but as you can see here, it's got a little bit of an arm hitbox, and then it's got the cat hitbox here. So cat hitbox is what you're really going to want to hit here. 18%, very slow, as you can see. Big startup, big end lag, but hits really hard, and as you'll see, like if the opponent's at a decent percent here, like let's say 100, right? It's gonna probably kill on some characters. I mean, mid-screen it's sent that far, but from this side it just straight up kills. Additionally, though, there is that arm hitbox I mentioned briefly. You generally want to avoid hitting this. There's not much use for this. It's very hard to hit in general, but if you do hit it, it can be pretty disastrous. It's really negative. Only does like 5%. You don't get anything off of it really, rather than the fact that I guess you're close enough to like follow up if the opponent like lacks a brain cell, but it's really hard to even whiff this hitbox, so you shouldn't worry too much about it. Up tilt. So this move right here spawns a cat upwards. This is kind of like the middle ground between jab and down tilt, where down tilt spawns a cat but has no hurtbox or hitbox. Jab is a strong hitbox and spawns a cat, but it's very, very slow. This is kind of the in-between. It's not the fastest move ever, but it isn't super, super slow here. Got two main hitboxes you want to worry about here, which is the starting hitbox here, and then you have your 14% hitbox. That's the upper hitbox. There is actually one more hitbox that I think is by far the most important, which is the tipper. So it appears for just a little bit, but you could see right on top of the cat there in the middle is the little tipper hitbox. This hitbox looks a little strange, but if you're able to hit it, you are rewarded pretty handsomely with like a very very strong hitbox and a pretty satisfying noise right there. So you can see it does a lot of damage. Very good for following up. You can use this move like slide in. As you can see at like higher percent, it's really good. For just getting the opponent in the air. You know, huge hitbox. Just a little bit disjointed. A little bit more reliable for disjoints, even though it's less of a disjoint than jab, just because jab is so slow. Now, something that I should mention with all of Cat Tosser's grounded moves is that Cat Tosser can drop the cats after he plucks them mid-animation. So, as you can see here, like, you are, I hit you with it, and then I'm pressing special to drop the cat. So, this is important because it's going to go into our special moves, which I'm going to cover before the aerials, because they are vital to cats. So every single one of them has something to do with the cat. So if you press up B, most people will recognize your up special as a move that helps you recover. In this game, that's not always strictly true, but on Cat Tosser it is. But you can see here, I'm pressing up B as the input in the bottom left there, and nothing's happening. That's because I don't have a cat out. If you're familiar with Orcane from Rivals of Aether, you can see that when I pluck a cat, and then I can teleport towards it. So if the cat no longer has a hitbox like this, I also grab the cat when I hit it. So you can do like a little link like this, grab like that, grab the cat, and then go back. There's a hitbox at the start where Cat Tosser starts, and as well as where he grabs the cats. So it's very, very important to know that. It is always going to be the last cat that Cat Tosser has thrown. Cats that are on the ground, sometimes you cannot teleport to them. That's because like they're like in the middle of being like completely despawned. Like right there, I pressed it right as it was despawning. So you need to do it generally fast. You won't always be able to do it. But cats stay out for a pretty darn long time, so don't worry too much about them despawning. So this up special also has a unique property to where if you, so as you can see, I'm pressing up special here. It's not enough to just have the cat out. It has to be thrown. However, if you throw the cat and then you grab it again, the game allows you to do an up special in place. And this is good because while the up special does pretty weak damage, it does have a lot of hit stun, meaning it's pretty feasible to follow up after it. So like if I grab it and then I do like a little string there, it's nothing too fancy, but this will lead us into our next move, like I was mentioning earlier, telekinesis. So it's kind of a shine-like move, has a hitbox for maybe like 1 or 2 frames. It doesn't do too much damage, but it's jump cancelable. So you can cancel it into wave dash in this game, which is wave dash's main purpose is to for like combo moves. But generally speaking, as you can see, that's not a true combo. So you want to use this to mix up with cats. So like, oh, I can do jab down special into jump canceling that into the up B. And while this isn't entirely true, it's pretty hard to react to for most characters, and you can do this kind of looping motion with a good chunk of the cast. Although it will suck on certain floaties, and it is pretty difficult. As you can see, I'm kind of messing it up. You get a lot of off of telekinesis. I mean, if you throw a cat from distance, you can just down B, and at a certain extent it will pick it up again. If you're not close enough, it will instead just alter its trajectory. As you see, if you can hold it, kind of go in like almost like a gravitational hole. That can be really useful, like I was talking about earlier, the cat ladders here. Get a bunch of cats out, and then you just fucking let them loose. And between stocks, some players like who don't know what they're doing, they'll have a really hard time with this. If you land on the ground with this move, it will instantly cancel. So I'm holding it, as you can see, but I can't really hold it as I go into the ground. As you can see also, the hitbox can in fact boink cats. They still have the hitbox open, which is actually a pretty consistent way of getting like a decent angle with like neutral throw cats if you are wanting to mix up the opponent in some way. Side B, this is a recovery move most of the time that you generally use if you don't have cats. So normally, we'll turn off hitboxes for a second here. It just kind of spins. If you mash the button, kind of similar to Luigi down B in Melee, you'll get a bit of a boost upwards, and gives you some decent momentum as well. If you have a cat, however, the move is boosted a little. It'll throw the cat afterwards, really, really, really strong. And this is the most damage I think a cat can actually do, if I'm correct. Woo! Yeah, I see that does 7 instead of 7 instead of the good old 5. And gets a lot more damage, so you can see here, like, it's really good here, but it is pretty DI-able, like, damage here. 24 on all the hits, and then here, though, get a little bit more stun, and it's, like, doubled with the cats. Unfortunately, there's no jump canceling. I don't really use this move for the hitbox personally, but I'm sure there's some wild shenanigans I haven't discovered with it. I play every character in the same, so I'm sure I haven't found everything that there is to find. I mean, I'm still discovering crazy shit with this game. Anyways, last moves in his kit before we go on to like actual game plan stuff. So we have Nair. This move, big hitbox, good for ending combos. It's a decent disjoint here. As you can see, his footsies are safe. And then you have down air. This is a two-parting hitbox. Decent like multi-hit. It combos into some of his other aerials due to the way that it sends, which is great because up air is a very, very important hitbox of his. So up air is a move, as you can see here. Has a pretty weird hitbox. It goes kind of up until that last little sweet spot at the beginning. So it's got a few different hitboxes. Most of them do like no damage, like you can see that's like 2%. But every once in a while you can get that big hitbox that does like 15, 10%. And this move can actually kill at high percents. But at lower percents you can use it in combination to get little strings like that, which are really, really nice. I mean, it's not unrealistic for you to just kind of do this and get some decent percent off, since Cat Tosser doesn't have a lot of fast grounded options. You're going to rely on this a lot for having a decently fast hitbox. So those are all Cat Tosser's moves. And pretty much all of the relevant tricks that he has. So we can go on to talking about, like, what are you actually doing with this character? How should I play them? How do I play neutral, right, with someone like Cat Tosser? So generally speaking, first thing I almost always do this is I down tilt, right? I pick up Cat. Just having a Cat in your hands with Cat Tosser is so powerful, because while other people can toss cats, kind of similar to how Carpenter Chicken has crates, everyone can use the crates in cats, but no one does it as good as the character who makes them. So everyone tosses cats, but Cat Tosser tosses cats like he has so many options off of them that many people don't have. Like, for example, even if someone grabs like this cat here, I can actually use up B to teleport to the cat in their hand. So they're always at this like little bit of a disadvantage if they don't act fast enough here. Sometimes air dodging can accidentally make people grab cats, and now a lot of characters' kits obviously aren't built around comboing with cats, meaning that if anything they usually become kind of a detriment. So just having a cat in hand is really, really nice. And so neutral throwing a cat like this, you have a lot of options. So generally some opponents might jump over it or boink it. So you can change up trajectories with like an up air. You can go in above with like a up air for coverage. So as you can see, like Cat Tosser really enjoys playing neutral. You can, if you hit them, you can just up B and then you get your cat back. Although obviously, nothing too wrong with spamming a couple of cats every now and then, just having a little bit of chaos. But keep in mind, it'll be a little harder to track which cats you've thrown if you throw too many of them. So just be a little careful about that. Nair is really good for making space, although it's a little slow. You can force kind of opponents to respect this move. If you're like approaching with it, they'll have to kind of wait you out. Although I don't really like approaching too much with this character, because against a person who knows what's what, they can really wait out Cat Tosser's options and punish him pretty severely, especially because once he is on like real defense, like up close, he's really lacking in options on the ground. I mean, he has telekinesis here, which is nice, but he cannot rely on this move, or he will face some pretty severe downsides to like having to just rely on telekinesis, because that can be worked around, right? It's a really small hitbox, as you can see. It only appears for just a little bit, and there's no disjoint here, so you cannot rely on hitting that. Strings that I like to do generally, like up air into up tilt is like pretty good, because you can follow up like into up B. I can grab like that, go into telekinesis, or I can do up air into up tilt, do a couple up air strings, down air into up air, up air, up air, up air, up air, and as you can see, like you can get really, really early kills if you hit that sweet spot of up air, but it's really it's difficult to hit consistently. You really need to be good with your placements. You have to be incredibly confident in where you are positioning wise in order to hit that sweet spot. But even if you hit that shitty percent, worst case scenario, you go back to neutral. Up tilt, like as we stated before, it's a pretty decent disjointing move. At least I thought I'd stated this before. It's not the best disjoint in the world, but you are going to get, you know, covering yourself in a hitbox isn't so bad. I wouldn't use this too much in neutral just because it is still a little bit more committal than a lot of moves are in this game. So just, I would just be careful and watch out. Like pretty much every character in this game, you can still go for the old-fashioned jump, air dodge into an air or an aerial. Like if you must approach, because there are certain matchups where, you know, maybe it's not going to work. Like Prince Slime has really good anti-cat stuff. He's got long-lasting aerials. He's got disjointed moves. So someone like TCC, where they have their reflector, also going to really just suck to play against as Cat Tosser, so you will have to kind of get out of your comfort zone a little. You really want to make sure that you are not too greedy with going in. Because like I said, you can really put yourself in a shit situation if you aren't careful with placement and resources. Recovering is can be a little tricky with Cat Tosser, especially without cats, but even with a cat, if it's not on stage, it can prove to be a little tricky. So it's important to note that Cat Tosser can recover a bit lower than you think he would, especially because if you have like air dodge, well, it's hard to use immediately after like Cat Tosser does anything here. You can still do it. Most likely I would wait to like bait out any type of punish, although generally speaking people will probably wait in some situations if they realize you're doing that over and over again on Cat Tosser. But it will catch people off guard. So I think if I was selling someone on this character, like, I'd say play them if you like, controlling neutral, really fun and, rewarding, toss, mix-ups, and avoid it if you don't like... Avoid Cat Tosser if you don't like this giant difficulty curve, because he is very, very difficult. I think many people struggle with him. Some people just like continuously toss cats and think like this is a good option, and sometimes against lower level players it will work, or like even on me sometimes I let my guard down, but I think in like a higher level setting it's just not gonna cut it for you. So you gotta be careful with stuff like that, and I guess avoid this character if you don't like a character who's too weird, because there's not really anyone like them. Cat Tosser, he's kind of his own little creature. I love him though. He's quite fun. I'm not showing off too many combos here just because, as you can see, like, he doesn't really have anything like super truth. He's really reliant on these cats. But that's perfectly fine because, like I said, he controls a lot of the neutral with cats anyways, so chances are he doesn't need to rely on these 0 to deaths. As long as you're using your up Bs carefully to mix up the opponent, like throwing cat like this is really interesting because I can make my opponent choose between boinking cat and then trying to see if I'm going there or approaching from above, or maybe I start to approach from above, right, and then I teleport anyways, and then I follow up like that. There's a lot of options you can do. This is kind of a jumbled mess of how to do this little tutorial thing, but I think I genuinely got the point across. I am going to play just a couple matches to get the CPU here, although I don't think the CPUs are like amazing in this. I'll hope it gets the point across, so we're gonna go against just like Carpenter Chicken. I'll just do a fight pit. Nothing fancy this time around. And I'll try and explain my logic and reasoning behind what I'm doing here. So I'm getting hit, gotta retreat, because of, Carpenter Chicken jab pressure's real. He will kill you in one hit if you're not careful, but now I can kind of go on the offensive here. A little hard for Carpenter Chicken to land. Trying hitting those up airs, but missing. Hit it that time, but just barely didn't kill, and still no dice. So just need to work a little harder at it, but we're in a very, very good spot here. That's the CPU for you, but kind of get what I'm saying. Where these cats, there's a sweet spot. Cats are really, really important to Cat Tosser's game plan just because of how much he's getting off of them neutralized. I'm not even really needing to rely on zero to deaths or anything, just because why do I need to approach when I have a tool that, you know, I can throw a projectile that I can safely teleport to approach for me if I ever needed to. But this alone is just so strong, like, now they're not getting back, use side to recover. And I did some stuff with Supreme as well. I played pretty much every character in that little VOD, so I'd highly recommend watching that if you want to know more information about any character. You can comment down below if you want to know anything specific, something I didn't cover, or if you like hate me and you want to send me a death threat, like, hey, what's your address? I want to send like a pipe bomb to your house or something. I don't know. You can ask about that. But yeah, this is pretty much kind of what Cat Tosser's general gameplay is going to look like. Now, against certain other characters, it will look a little different, especially for, like I said, Prince Time, TCC, even Carpenter Chicken when playing against like a real human person, where it's like having these flutter nairs is going to be really devastating to play against cats. But you could still boast a pretty decent neutral, I'd say. Cat Tosser generally struggles against characters with just like long-lasting aerial hitboxes that boink, and also just any sort of reflector. But characters without projectiles, characters that struggle to land, he's going to do really, really well against them. I guess that's kind of all I have to say here. I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Again, sorry, I'm such a mess with this stuff. I'm pretty new to it, but I hope this is at least a little bit helpful, and maybe one day I'll be able to, you know, actually write a script and not talk like a moron and be like but we'll get there one day, you know. I just would rather have the information out there in a jumbled, like, notes of a madman form as opposed to nothing or all just on the Discord, because some people don't want to go on the Discord. So, yeah. That's all she wrote. I'll see ya.